The Circle, directed by James Ponsoldt, starring Emma Watson, Tom Hanks, and Finn from Star Wars. I watched The Circle one night with my wife and some friends, and I usually read some reviews before I pay money in the theater, but this time I thought the trailer seemed interesting, so I said, let's give it a shot. Never again. There's not very many times where I go to the movie theater and I watch a movie and I think about leaving halfway through. The Circle is one of those movies. Halfway through this movie, I went to the bathroom, which I never do in the middle of a movie, but I had drank a bottle of Perrier right before. My buddy Monty also decided to take a piss, so while we were standing at the urinals, I turned and said, "This movie is making me uncomfortable." He agreed quickly, but also perhaps because he was uncomfortable talking to me while taking a leak. So what was so uncomfortable about this movie? I can sum this up in one line. This is a movie where the plot and the characters service the ideas in the movie, where it should be the other way around. Now, what do I mean by that? The Circle is trying to introduce certain ideas about the role of technology in our society and how it's leading us to bad places. However, it does so without maintaining consistent characters or story arcs. These are the main storylines that the movie sets up. Emma and Finn in the company secrets. Emma and the emo carpenter, who ends up becoming harassed by the Circle. Emma competing with her ginger friend and being catty with each other. Emma's role as this transparent 24/7 vlogger, basically Casey Neistat on steroids. Emma's parents getting healthcare through the company but losing their privacy. The Circle influencing the government by destroying politicians and gaining power over the voting system. Now on paper, these storylines seem fine. They all represent different hot button themes for a Black Mirror episode. Cyberbullying, loss of privacy, Big Brother monitoring, social media competition, the power of corporations to influence the government. These are all interesting ideas, except that Black Mirror would spend an entire episode on just one of these themes. This movie is trying to give you a poo-poo platter of all of them, and that's where it fails. By trying to juggle all of the ideas, The Circle doesn't really nail any of them. And this is reflected in the character subplots. Each subplot is missing 2 to 3 scenes to fully develop them, but instead are picked up and dropped just to hit the bullet point list of ideas that the filmmakers are trying to convey. But when an audience watches a movie, we don't want to watch a PowerPoint presentation. We want to follow compelling characters as they try to go after what they want, and we never truly know what any of the characters in this movie want. One moment, there are scenes where it looks like Emma and her emo carpenter friend have a simmering romance, but it never goes anywhere. Then it looks like her and Finn from Star Wars have a connection, but then we don't see him for an hour until the filmmakers want to bring him back, just to brood in the back of the auditorium. When Emma becomes a star employee, Finn never shows up to warn her or talk her out of what she is doing. He becomes a passive character exactly when he should become a proactive character. One moment, Emma and her ginger friend are walking arm in arm across the Google campus, then suddenly, she's fighting with the ginger, who looks like she's been on a coke binge in Vegas for a week. These are all examples of how the story is servicing the ideas about the Circle rather than the characters themselves. The most frustrating character of them all is definitely Emma Watson's character though. We need her to be the moral anchor of the film, making strong choices that define her character so that we can decide if we like her and want to root for her. But Emma never makes those choices. She seems to be an opportunist, going along with the Circle when it suits her and her family, even though all signs point to the Circle being the bad guy. By the end, when she does make a strong choice and takes down Tom Hanks, it is so anticlimactic because I was so frustrated up to this point that I didn't care. But even the ending was annoyingly vague. Is she the leader of the Circle now, or is she free? I know that they were trying to make it a cool, open ending that makes you think, but all it did was make me vow to myself never to drink Perrier before watching a movie I hadn't read the reviews for.